Authorities in the United States have released body cam video of a police officer shooting a black woman inside her home.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the
It happened in Illinois after 36-year-old Sonya Massey called police to report a suspected intruder in her home. The video shows the two officers entering her house, following her into the kitchen. Police then shouted her to put down a pot of boiling water as they point their guns. Massey was transported to the hospital where she eventually died of her injuries. The officer who shot her in the head has since been fired and is facing charges of murder and official misconduct. Now, President Joe Biden has condemned the shooting. In a statement on X, he said, "When we call for help, all of us as Americans, regardless of who we are or where we live, should be able to do so without fearing for our lives." He said Sonia's death at the hands of a responding officer reminds us that all too often, Black Americans face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us do not. He added that Congress must pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act now.
R.I.P. Sonya Massey. She was killed in her own home, minding her own business. She called the cops for help, just for them to turn around and take her out. The cop who's responsible for this, well, cops, one of them has, white supremacist tattoos on him. Prominently, actually, on his freaking forearm. Just plain as day. They wouldn't tell the son who did it or what happened. And now it's gotten to the point to where the world is watching this and they're starting to see exactly who America is. Because for years, America pushed the narrative to other countries and other places that we were the cause of all of this trouble. That the violence in America was always us. Well, this new little invention called phones and cameras and live stream and social media have now disproven it. And anybody who says different, you are a part of the problem. Because it's clear as day on camera. He shot that woman in cold blood. Period. There's nothing else you can say. And I always notice that the people who show up to support these people, the ones who do all the killing, they always have some sort of excuse or reason, or you shouldn't do well, if you're dealing with cops, you shouldn't be. Stop right there. You are fucking formally trained with high-powered weaponry on you. You have more than just guns. You have tasers, pepper spray. I noticed that a white guy was coming at a cop with the gun and clearly drugged up. The cops tased him. Didn't do nothing. They pepper sprayed him. Didn't do nothing. Not at one point did they just pull out and start dumping until he shot at them. You mean to tell me that's not more dangerous than a fucking pot? Oh, boy, I tell you. To all the black people out there, how many times we gotta see this shit happen? Every time something like this happens, there need to be repercussions. And I always tell people, I don't let police in my house. I don't call them. If you have to call police, you better be bleeding out. Because otherwise, you're going to be considered a threat. I had a car accident once. A guy swerved in front of an 18-wheeler, T-boned me in the turning lane. Right? I was where I was supposed to be. He wasn't. While texting and driving. Do you know what the first thing the cop said to me was? If you have weed in your system, it's going to be your fault. I'm in the hospital with a fucking concussion. IVs in my arm. Literally covered in my own blood. They just cut my shirt off. And he's saying this to me while this is happening. My aunt gets there and she's like, "Why the fuck are you talking to him? Leave him alone. It wasn't his fault. We got multiple witnesses. The insurance company, it wasn't his fault. I didn't do drugs and I don't do drugs. So it doesn't matter. But how would it have been my fault if he hit me? You see what I'm saying? See, it doesn't matter. It isn't about what's right and wrong. It's about stigmas and prejudice. These people do not care about us. Their entire job is to police us. They aren't here to protect and serve. That's a fallacy that we came up with, that the people came up with. These motherfuckers are here to keep you in check, to keep you afraid. Black people, be on your P's and Q's. Don't go anywhere where you don't have somebody that you trust. Sorry, sometimes miraculously, whenever I do a video about stuff like this, my phone storage just gets full. Doesn't make any sense because literally don't have anything on here except a few of these videos. But every single time, without fail, it does this to me. Anyway, don't go anywhere without someone that you love. Don't go anywhere without a form of communication to get to your people. Do not go anywhere without having an exit plan. If you cannot make it out of there on foot, you don't need to go there. Don't go anywhere where there ain't nobody that look like you. Don't go anywhere where there ain't nobody that look like you. These are rules that most of us should know and should live by, but I'm letting y'all know. Because this is not a country that's for us. And at this point, we are really fighting a battle. This is a real war. So, keep your ears and your eyes on the swivel. Stay on your P's and Q's. Please do not get caught out there by yourself. And, again, do not let them people in your house or your home. Don't let them in at all. If they don't have a warrant, they can't come in. Don't talk to them unless you can contact a lawyer. And always have the number of a good lawyer somewhere in your phone or written down. These are just a few little tips to keep you safe out there. Peace.